He's
Greg, wild card round. How'd you come up with the glasses?
Just something we thought about. Just trying to do something creative, each week. And what not better than the Uno wild card glasses?
Are you good at that game?
I'm amazing. Yeah.
You a better corner or Uno player?
See, that's like it's debatable. That's just like one of those is Michael Jordan, the GOAT, or LeBron. So I think it's debatable. Yeah.
Just what are your thoughts going into this game? You guys already won down in Houston, but now you got to play them again in a one-game season.
Man, first just blessed and excited, man. Just for the opportunity. This is my first time getting to the playoffs, so just super excited. But I mean, obviously, the challenge of playing a team twice. As you can see, for instance, us in our division, losing to the Ravens once, beating them the second time. It's hard to beat a team twice. So our mentality is just to go in there. We know some things won't go our way. That's the game of football. But just to stay together like we've been the whole entire season.
Greg, how different does this team look with CJ from what you guys have watched so far, and just the challenge of going against him since you haven't seen him a couple weeks ago?
I mean, a lot different. CJ is not just the best rookie quarterback, but he's one of the best quarterbacks in the whole entire NFL. So he presents a lot of challenges for us, but I think we're up for the challenge.
How important was it for you, Greg, to have that Sunday off when you guys played the Bengals?
It was important. Obviously, man, I missed it. I hate just sitting there and not playing. But it was definitely important just to get my body a little bit, more fresh, just to get into this, final 4-game stretch.
Greg, have you had time to reflect at all, kind of where you were last year, unsure about your role, but kind of where you are now, going into the playoffs? You seem pretty happy. Have you had time to kind of reflect as to where things have come in the year?
Nah, just because, my role is still continuing right now. We still got a lot of football left to play, so, reflection normally comes at the end of the season. But right now I'm just trying to, whatever my role is this playoffs, try to do it to the best of my ability.
What about their receiver, Nico Collins? I mean, obviously it seems like they've established a connection with Tank Dell, still out. He's big. The challenge of going against him for you guys.
Big guy, great at the catch point, can run a bunch of routes, but he's just a big target. So he's a guy, you got to be in phase with. You got to play physical with him. Great receiver as well, and I think him and CJ are one of the better duos in the league for sure.
Thanks.
Jeremiah, I know you obviously, the first time around, you guys, prepared somewhat for CJ because there was at least a somewhat uncertainty. Now that you can prepare fully for him, how much different are they compared to what you saw a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's a little more blank, based upon like what, their concepts are, what we'll be expecting. We have more footage on CJ than we did the last quarterback, so it was a little bit of a challenge. Of course, reference to personnel would be a challenge. CJ is the type of player that he is, which is an awesome player, and then they have the real good backs, real good lines. So it'll be a challenge for us overall, but it'll be a little bit more understood because we have more footage on him.
The fact that he's a rookie quarterback gives
Yeah,
you
no.
any edge at all?
I don't think it's like a edge thing where you come in, he's a rookie quarterback, and he may struggle with this, he may struggle with that. I think he's mature enough to be able to, and he's seen enough football to be able to execute in the way that he should. I don't think him being a rookie quarterback is going to affect his play at all.
Study of him, do you guys see him? Does he face everything defensively now?
Well, I mean, he's faced similar defenses. The Jets runs, some of the front to us and some of the concepts. So he's faced similar defenses, and I think he's seen enough film of us to be able to execute in the way that he should.
You guys talk about going 1-0 every week, but how different is it, your mindset with this being a playoff game?
Each week we say, we're trying to go 1-0, and there's possibly a game right after that. This one is more like we really, embrace that concept and that motto to go 1-0. So that's it does intensify it a bit. I'm not one that's going to lessen the game and say, oh, it's just a regular game. The city of Cleveland has been waiting for this game, right? The organization has been waiting for this game. It's not just a quote unquote just another game. I think there is a bit of intensification in reference to the speed of the game, in reference to guys pulling something out of themselves that they haven't seen in the regular season. I think it's more to it.
What do you think your emotions are going to be like?
Well, in reference to emotions, I mean, we have a certain concept on defense that, emotions will die down eventually. Joe Flacco got up in the team meeting yesterday, and he said that, this is an emotional, season, and this, you have waves here and waves here, but at the end of the day, when you get into the game, some snaps in, the emotions are going to die down, and this will be a game, right? This will be a game based upon discipline, based upon the fundamentals in which we've been fighting for all year, and that's what Joe Flacco emphasized yesterday in reference to his experience.
Was that your biggest takeaway from that when the veterans got up and talked about their playoff experience?
Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of key. That was probably the best team meeting that I've been a part of, just in reference to the focus, in reference to the emphasis on making sure that you take every opportunity with, intensity, with intentionality. And I think that that's the important part going into this, is this whole week has to be intentional. I believe it was Coach Schwartz that said that, when you have a great play, it can make you a legend. But if you have a great mistake, it can worsen the cases for you. But I think that's the idea this week in the process, to make sure that we correct all the mistakes and figure out what we need to overcome.
It seems like you've been here for quite a while, but you weren't here in 2020.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the first postseason appearance?
I feel good about it. I think that within that first 4 years of your rookie contract, if you can experience it, every year, that's a good thing. But also, if you can experience it once or twice, just being able to get that experience in. There's been a lot of guys that's been in the league 10 plus years, and that's never been. I was talking to Taki earlier, and he was talking about how in 2020, how the energy was and how the process was. And even that team meeting yesterday, he said that we didn't have anything like that. In 2020, the team that we had in 2020 wasn't as close as it is now. So I think that that's something to be proud of in reference to the culture that we have and we are continuing to build here.
You guys ended up with #1 ranked defense in multiple categories. Obviously, the clock kind of resets here now with the postseason started, but just how much pride do you guys take in that, and how do you travel that here into the playoffs and carry that forward?
I don't think we carry it necessarily over in reference to statistics. I think the score is 0-0. I think that we are coming into this with a clean slate. Of course, we have the mindset and the pride in the good way that we have the Cleveland name on our back, right? We have the city on our back. We have the organization on our back. And we have, our names and what we've built as a team and as a defense. It's very important to uphold that standard. And I think that that's what we're aiming to do going into the postseason. Of course, the statistics are important. We celebrate those, but the slate is 0-0, and we're looking to build something more from the postseason.
The defense and the team overall wasn't as good on the road as at home for much of the year, but then you guys went down to Houston and played a really good game. Do you think you guys take confidence from traveling like you did on that day for that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing sometimes when you experience difficulties early in the season, so that you have that experience to be able to say, hey, I've overcame this already. This is something that I'm familiar with. So for us to, have those away games that we did overcome, it gives us a little bit of edge going into this postseason that right now it looks like it's going to be nothing but away games. So, again, we're focused on 1-0 and focused on making sure that we are still carrying that motto of road warriors, and that's very important. So,
When you talk about the closeness of this team and it being different, where does that come from?
I think it comes from the people. Can't come from anywhere but the people, right? I think that when we put the right people in place, put the right people into the positions that they need to be in, you see the closeness, you see the camaraderie, you see the chemistry, you see the ability for us to, rub off of each other. There's anchors, there's different parts of the puzzle, right? Everybody has a different role, and I think that when you put the right people in the right positions, you see the fruition of a close team.
Okay, what is the biggest indicator to you that this team is just not satisfied in making the playoffs?
The biggest,
Want to do more?
yeah, the biggest indicator is just doing more. I think we've just in the first 2 days of this week, we see people coming in a little bit earlier, staying in a little bit later. More text messages. Hey, look, make sure you watch this. Hey, I saw this on with the running back, or I saw this with the quarterback. Make sure y'all key this. Right. I think that is the biggest indicator. Is just people doing it. You know, it's nothing that they're saying. It's nothing that the coaches are saying. None of that, right? I think the emphasis this week is on the action, right? The word is important, right? But if the word doesn't become manifest, it becomes vain. So, yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, appreciate it.